Yes, hey guys, welcome back to another Access Institute video, and of course here today with Rendall Munroe. Rendall, absolute pleasure to speak to you, and you must be, over the moon with Sean Bruce after a great victory. How are you feeling?
Yeah, oh man, superb. Everything we worked on through camp, we did it, and he just executed the game plan to a T. Obviously, scorecards tell you 99 to 91, lost one round out of 10. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely superb.
Yeah, it was an amazing fight, and one of the best ones I've seen live. I'm sure, I was feeling a little bit nervous for him before this fight. I'm sure you were as well. But are you just so happy to see that, on this step up for him, he's stepped up with it?
Yeah, 100%. Look, for me, I remember Sean first coming in the gym and I started doing a bit of work with him. And I said to him at that point, mate, you need to leave this unlicensed rubbish alone. Let's turn over, let's turn pro because you've got qualities. And I believe you can win some big titles. And I'll never forget, he turned around and he said, "Do you reckon?" I said, "I'm telling you." And like you say, this is the start of the journey. I think Sean's got so much more potential in there to show. We're just starting to get him out of his shell. You know what I mean? He's a top-level amateur. He's boxed all the big names before as an amateur, beat them, to be fair. And it's just like you say, it just took him a bit of time to turn around and come back again and carry on the journey.
And we spoke over DMs, I don't know if you remember, about some of his amateur bouts, and he's, like you mentioned, he's boxed some top level guys, and he's not always had the wins go his way, but he's he has one really. And is it nice to see now him going and having this kind of 50-50 level fight, even though he is the away fighter, but him getting the deserved decision?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, like you say, the boxing pays the bills, as they say. You know what I mean? He showed his strength. He showed his skill. You know what I mean? I think for me, there was two halves to that fight for me. In the first half, he showed his strength, what he's about, and in the second half, he showed his boxing ability. So for me, it was a perfect execution of the plan we worked on.
And there was a point in the fight when I was looking at him, and to be honest, he looked a bit tired, but he came through with that second wind. And what were you saying to him in between each round?
Just relax, show what you're about. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we ain't got to rush. We're winning the rounds. Just keep doing what you're doing. I think from about round 6, round 7, I says, look, let's start boxing him now. Forget about the brute strength stuff now. Let's start boxing him. And it started working because we started picking shots a lot more, started doing a lot more work. And it showed by the boxing ability, didn't it?
And, he was in there with a tricky opponent who at times maybe didn't really want to fight, but he was very hard to hit at the same time. And, like you mentioned, he boxed to the game plan. And did you kind of expect that from him?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, when Fraser was leaning on the ropes, rolling about a bit, I think Sean got a little bit excited at times, trying to get the finishing shot off. Like I say, if you think about it in the later rounds, when he started to take his time a bit, started to hit it, at one point, it looked like he was going to stop Fraser. And fair play, you know what I mean? It takes two people to make a great fight, and Fraser didn't give up. He kept on trying, you know what I mean? And it was superb.
And I've come down to the gym a couple of times, some, great talent there. And is it nice to see them getting this recognition now?
Yeah, obviously that's what it's about, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I always tell them it's not about me in there, it's about you. I want to do what I can do to help you to get where you need to be or where you want to be. And I think after tonight's performance, I think it showed that the game plan we worked on worked down to a T, and it's onwards and upwards now.
Of course, and when you see somebody like Sean, who you have coached for a while, and you've seen him from the amateurs build his way up to where he is now, when you have other fighters come to you and want that kind of coaching, what characteristics, I suppose, are you looking for from them?
Just dedication. That's it. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be the best boxer in the world to become one of the best around. It comes to dedication and sacrifices. And like I say, Sean lives the life of a proper professional, 24/7. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them where he reminds me of my old self when it was like, look, have some time off. Rest is just as important as training. Do you know what I mean? But I can always say that I was the one who did it to start off with. I've put the blueprint down. Listen to what I'm telling you because I've been there and I've done that. And obviously it's working.
Of course, and I suppose, moving on for him, there's going to be only huge fights from now on, and is that, the goal to keep him in these big, at the moment, maybe domestic or, even European level type fights?
Yeah, but like I say, there's no rush. There's no rush. I've said to Sean, and I say to a lot of people about Sean, I want us to go up there and stay there. I don't want us to go up there and fall straight off. So it's about picking the right fights at the right time. He's got one of the best managers around in Carl Greaves, and we'll do it. Like I say, Carl will come and say to me, what do you reckon for this, Rendall? And it's a team. Do you know what I mean? Between me and Carl, we'll decide where to go and what not to do and what to do. Do you know what I mean? And trust me, you'll see Sean get into some high levels.
Indeed, and another fight which I did just want to talk about, he fought last week and became winning, I suppose, in Rosa O'Donovan. It was great to see him win, and how much did it mean to him after the little bit of a rocky pro debut?
Oh, it's brilliant for him. Do you know what I mean? Same again, another fight what I know's got qualities about himself. I think the atmosphere took over him last time, and he got caught earlier. But like we'll say, with these guys who have got all that experience, they know what they're about. They know what they're in there for, and they seen a little bit of a wilts in Ross's work, and they kind of made use of it. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, we went back to his drawing board, put it right, and he went out there and he looked a different fighter.
And do you feel like, in this, I suppose, this year and the coming years, your gym is going to have a lot of great fighters coming through? Like I said, when I came down, I saw some other top-level fighters around, and do you feel like there's that talent there? Yeah,
definitely. I think what the thing for me is I'm open and honest with everyone. I don't want to fill my gym with fighters just for the sake of filling it with fighters. I want to have a small bunch that I can work with and give them proper time. Do you know what I mean? I think for me, that's my idea. I think sometimes you can end up diluting yourself too much by having too much. Look, I run my own business working with kids excluded from mainstream school, triple skills. So the boxing is some fun for me. Do you know what I mean? I want to give back to what I used to do myself. And when I can see someone with potential, like your Sean's, and who else is there? Irish Joe coming through, Sammy's another one coming through, and even I work with a few young amateur lads now. But I just want that stable, small, so I can give them that time rather than trying to take myself all over the place.
And I'll touch upon just some of the amazing work you do outside of boxing as well, just a moment. But, like I mentioned, you've got some of that great talent for coming through. But Leicester as a whole hasn't always, been put on the map in boxing. But do you feel like there is that talent there?
Yeah, of course it is. I think sometimes it's just, we just take time. We just need to take a bit of time and pick the right fights to the right fight for the right fighters. I think sometimes, like I says, I want Sean and the other lads being there, and they kind of go up there and they win titles and they hold titles, not go up there and one fight later they've lost the title. Do you know what I mean? I want us to be there for the right reasons, and when we're up there, we're staying there for a long time. And we're moving up the ladder. Sometimes I think you can get a bit too hasty. Oh, we've got this opportunity to fight for this. Yes, we win it, and even though we wasn't supposed to win it, but then you kind of look at it on the backside of it is you go back for the next one in the first defence, and sometimes it goes a little bit short. Do you know what I mean? So, like for me, I want my fighters to go up there and hold it and be recognised, not just one of these who go, oh yeah, he won that, but he lost it on the first defence. I want them to say, look, he won it, he deserved to win it, and he's defended it a few times.
Of course, and just two more questions from me. I appreciate your time. And Sean, he had a good backing here today, fan-wise, and coming as the away fighter. Tickets, they're important to sell. And how much, do you feel like that support has also helped fuel him? You saw in between, I believe, the 9th and the 10th round, he was getting them going as well.
Yeah, like you say, man, everything's about support, isn't it? As we know, boxing is a business now, so you got to sell the tickets to make the promoter smile. So, but it is what it is. Like I say, Sean's first title fight, he sold over 90 fights as the away fighter. What more can you ask for? Like I say, everyone's going to be talking about his boxing qualities today. So they always say, once you got a bit of boxing quality about you, people want to see what you're about. I think he was saying at the awards, the Midlands Awards the other week, that basically they introduced him as, if you want to see a boxing purist, come and watch Sean Bruce. Well, that says it all for itself, doesn't it?
Indeed it does, and like I say, it was an amazing fight. And just to, like I mentioned before, touch upon some of the stuff you do outside of boxing. Of course, boxing can be used as a sport to help young kids who might be in vulnerable positions. And do you want to just speak a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I run my own company called Triple Skills. It's working with kids excluded from mainstream schools. Do you know what I mean? So it's going through. It was a bit of a challenge. My old coach, so it was a bit of a coach versus fighter. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
I look at my man like I looked at him when he had his first title fight, lost the British title. It is what it is. Come back stronger.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
But definitely. Also, to me, it was a bit
absolute quality kid.
Little bit of a man's strength against a boy's strength. Well, not boy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Man's strength against your strength.
Yeah.
Bit of maturity against. I think. To what it is.
We go
there. Fight the other day, we're still mates. As Nick Williams loves, but I help.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Well, Rendall, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, man.
Nice one. You take care, boy. See you later.